Okay, so today I'm canning beets, but I'm pickling beets. Well, I'm actually doing a few things today, but one video at a time. So, oh, I still got a bug on there. But anyway, you can see, like, this is my biggest beet that I got. It's huge. Like, there's my hand, right? Huge. And then I got some, you know, smaller ones here. I got a nice, lovely variety of sizes here. But what I'm going to do is these are being pickled and these are being dehydrated. Now I went out and picked these all last night and I left them outside so they'd stay cool because it is cool at night here right now. But I'm going to show you what I'm doing with just, you know, one or two of them of these because I got a lot to go through here. I'm hoping, oh, I got to scoot you down a little bit. Okay. So they don't bleed. You want to make sure you cut it, you leave that much there, because you don't want these bleeding until they need to. And these are going into another bowl that I have behind me for dehydrating. And you'll see that in a different video. Okay. But, as you can see, I have no rings on, I have no watches on, I have no bracelets on. I even have an apron on, I have a hat on. I'm wearing really actually shorts. It doesn't even look like I have shorts on actually underneath of my skirt. And that's because beets stain. But that's okay because I have a white shirt that I know I'm never going to wear because it's white. I just might dye it in the leftover one this. So this is just, now I've already bleached my sink, washed my sink. It's filled with warm but cold water so I can scrub these beets. But you just want to cut, you want to leave a little bit of headspace so these don't bleed. And I will leave the recipe that I'm using in a link down below because it took me forever to find it because it wasn't in any canning book. So I will leave it down below. And I am going to keep going on this because this is a big bowl of beets that I gotta get cut, washed, and ready for blanching. So we'll be back when I have all of these done and we're ready for the next step. Okay, so now I have the beets themselves separated from the greens. There's a lot more greens than there is beets, let me tell you. But that's okay. I use both. So I don't actually use the scrub brushes. I'm sorry guys, they drive me nuts. I just use a green scratch pad, brand new one, and I go along and I clean the beet the best I can without, oh, let's see, there we go. I'm starting to get the thing. That's okay. And into the pot she goes. We just keep going. Oh, there's my bacon. Get as much dirt off as we can. And they normally cook between 20 and 40 minutes, just until they're fork tender. But honestly, I think it really just depends on the size of the beets that you have. And if, like, see, this one's going to take much longer to cook than, like, this one here, right? So, but you don't want to break them because then they're going to bleed. Well, they're going to bleed in there anyway, but you want to help prevent as much bleeding as possible. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going and I'll bring you guys back once these are all boiled and they are ready for skin peeling, I guess you'd say. Slip in the skin. So we'll be right back. Okay, so in here I have my pickling brine for the beets. Now I don't have any cheesecloth. I thought I did, but I don't. So I'm just using some muslin here. But in here I've got, now I doubled mine, so this is, the actual recipe is 2.5 cups of white vinegar. You could use apple cider vinegar too, but I just use white. You can use, and then 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar, and that's the brine. And then in here I've got 3 cinnamon sticks, 6 tablespoons of pickling spice, and I think 12 or so cloves. That's the spice mix that I use for mine. Now again, I did double it because I doubled the brine. I'd much rather have too much brine than not enough. So I'm going to let this simmer and do its thing for 15 minutes. Just going to try and shove that in there. And while that's doing its thing, I am going to take you guys over the sink and we're going to slip some skins. So we'll be right back. Okay, now here's the messy job with canning beets. Now, it's been a while since I've done this, guys. I don't have everything in front of me because I'm doing a couple things here at once. So, rinse my knife off a little bit. Now these are nice and cool. I can handle touching them. I personally just leave them in the water, go around wiping them in the water, slipping the skin. Okay. Oh, that top came right off on its own. And there we go. One nice clean beet. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing over here now. Nope. Let's take you over there. Okay. Now I'm just going to take the bottom off. Take the top, or that was the top anyway. And cut them into the size that I want. And I should have a jar in front of me, which I do not, silly me. But I'm going to keep doing this until I have all my jars full, which I'm going to grab them now, and by the end of this my hands are going to be purple. So, but we'll be right back when we're on to the next stage of this. But that's how I do that. I just chop mine into quarters. It's the way I like them. So, we'll be right back. Okay, so they're all skinned, quartered, and in the jars. I got 6 jars in total, so I would have been okay with just a single recipe of the brine, but that's okay. I'd rather have too much than not enough, because when you're growing your own, you don't know exactly how many you're going to get, right? And you're supposed to discard that, which I will, but I'm not going to do that until it cools down, because I'm not going to throw away my muslin bag. Not happening. So we'll just put that aside for right now. Now I've packed these as good as I can. I'm just going to fill these up with brine. Oop. Locate my debubbler. Just a little bit more brine in there. There we go. Wipe the rim. Wipe it again. Put a lid on it. And then put the screw band on. And into the water bath canner. And I'll just keep repeating this. And this needs to process for 30 minutes for my altitude. Now, sadly, I did actually end up by overcooking the beets a little bit when I was boiling them to get the skin off. Because personally, I like leaving them so they're a bit hard when I put them in the canner, so they don't go like really, really soft. And like when you're processing them, oh, that one's perfect. But it just didn't work out that way this time. That's okay. It just means they'll just be a little bit softer than what I normally do. But that's okay. Okay, so I'll bring you guys back when these are out of the canner. And there we have it. 6 jars of the pickled beets. I'm just going to leave them sit here until they are cooled down, which will be tomorrow, and then I'll wash them and get them put away and labeled. So hope you guys like, and I will see you again soon.